Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you some knife skills. I'm also going to show you various types of knives that can help you get your job done. Your most basic tool that you're going to be using in the kitchen would be a chef's knife. This is an 8-inch chef's knives, and they come in all different sizes and varieties. This is another 8-inch chef knife, but as you can see, there's like a bigger blade on this. And this is a 10-inch chef knife. This is a little intimidating, but for most purposes, like an 8-inch chef knife is just fine. There's also utility knives. These are good for like boning. They're also good for filleting fish and that type of thing. And they also have uses for like slicing vegetables as well, including fruit. This is a I can never pronounce this correctly. It's a santoku knife. These are good for cutting vegetables. They have little indentations on the side, which help when you're cutting a vegetable to just help those vegetables fall off so they're not sticking to the blade. And this is a paring knife. It's also called a utility knife. These are good for basic cuttings of vegetables and smaller fruits and vegetables. They're good for like taking the skin off of vegetables as well. And we also have a grater. That might not seem like something that you normally would be maybe using in the kitchen or vegetable preparation, but it's good for like smaller cuts, like grating garlic, for instance, or onion into a recipe. They're very handy. The best thing you can do in the kitchen for knife safety is to keep your blade nice and sharp. A sharp knife is actually safer than a dull knife, believe it or not, because you don't have to apply as much pressure and it's less likely to slip. So it's very important to keep your knife sharp. This is just like a basic table knife. You could buy these at any grocery store. These are pretty handy. You could put them in like your knife kit or whatever, and it gets the job done. And then there's also like an electrified knife sharpener. These are a little bit more expensive, a little bit heavier. They're not as portable, but they do come in handy when you need like more of a extra sharp knife. There's also other sharpening things available, like a stone. There's also like a steel, which actually like hone your knife. Those are good to have in your kit as well if you don't have like a sharpener. Those will just make sure like that the edge of your knife is good. A peeler is good because it actually helps you take the skin off. Like it helps you keep your basic vegetables like carrots and tubers and potatoes, that type of thing. But they're also good for making slices on vegetables like cucumbers. That's also something that you can use for the mandolin. This is also helps you make slices, helps you make other things such as julienne cuts and ripple cuts. These have a very sharp edge on them, so it's very important to try and be very safety. You should use this guard to protect your hand, protect yourself. If that doesn't have the guard on there are options to keep your hands and fingers safe, but it's best to make sure you're using the guard.